Sir.
Mine's a two-part question.
Okay.
Who was your favorite guest star on The X-Files, and what was it like working with my favorite guest star, which was Brad Dourif from Beyond the Sea?
Oh. Brad was pretty cool to work with. You know, it was interesting after a while when the series became popular and you know, a different level of actor started to come on the show or be interested in coming on the show, and so that was always interesting to get these really good people to work across from, and I think that was probably one of the first opportunities that they gave me to see what I had to give, and so that was challenging and fun to work on. I think I worked harder on that episode than I had on anything before that, and a very meaningful episode. He was cool to work with, and favorite guest star. I mean, it was fun to work with Clyde Bruckman, Peter Boyle. Yeah, he was fun. I don't think he took it seriously at the beginning. I think he felt for a minute that he might be wasting his time, and then all of a sudden he realized that that what was going on was actually pretty cool, and we had a pretty fun time together. He was a nice man. I think it, huh? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And Robert Patrick. He wasn't really a guest star anymore though. But then, you know, there was, in the early days, there was Giovanni Ribisi and there was Jack Black. And apparently, Ryan Reynolds was, on what episode was he on? He was, Seth Green, I ran into Seth Green in San Diego. He looks the same. He was sweet. Yeah, we had some cool people to work with. Thanks. Thank you, because I was not going to be able to take it seriously. Not in your head.
Although it'll probably never happen, would you be willing to make a third X-Files game if you were ever asked to?
X-Files game?
Yeah, you make
Are there already two?
Yeah. You won't even need it that much. You play as like Agent Craig Wilmore, Skull and Mulder go missing, so you got Skinner assigns him to find you and Mulder. In the second one, you and Mulder go investigate a small town where zombies are taking over. It's really aliens are really behind it, so we wanted to make a third one.
He's removing the jello shot. Yeah, yes, sure, why not? Yeah, I mean, if somebody suggested that and it didn't, you know, take half a year to do it, then sure. But it would have to be really good though, right? Because things have moved on since then in the game world, I believe, seriously. And yeah, it would have to be really good. Has anybody been buying up the new comic books? Is
yes.
Cool. Good. Would you like a jello shot? Okay.
Hi. I was just wondering, working as a director, actor, and writer, what genre have you felt most drawn to through all your different roles?
I don't know. I had a manager for a long time who's one of my greatest friends, and whenever I would do period pieces, as excited as she was for me,
yeah.
She, at the end, she was like, man, but this is the olden days, and you need to be contemporary. I want people to see you in something contemporary. And so, I don't know whether that's kind of ringing in the back of my head, but I don't know about genres. I mean, I like a lot. It's, you know, it just depends. It depends on the individual piece. But I hope to have more experience directing. It looks like that might happen in the next couple of years, hopefully. So that will be, I'm very much looking forward to that. I mean, I was really excited when Man of Steel came out.
Yeah.
Not for obvious reasons, but no. But I realized all of a sudden that there is a little geeky part of me that is excited by these things as well, as much as I pretend that I'm, or not pretend, but as much as I am also obsessed with, you know, deep films, foreign films, independent films. I also really get a kick out of it.
Nothing wrong with a little bit of nerd inside everyone.
I know.
Can I just say you look exactly the same too? Not aged at all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Gillian. I wanted to thank you for giving me the opportunity 20 years ago to kick the wife and kids out of the room.
Okay.
Yeah, the kids were a little bit too young for the show at that point in time,
Uh-huh.
so it was good, especially when, what was it, I think it was season 4 rolled around with Never Again. That's a different one. But I was kind of curious with regards to the episode of Triangle.
Yeah.
With the long takes, and you made a comment earlier about not having the longest of memories. As an actress, how do you treat something like that to where you have what is considered to be a pretty long take?
Well, from the get-go, in the X-Files anyway, from day one, you know, we had paragraphs of gobbledygook to spit out every day, and that's, you know, it's not easy, because you're going home, you know, the night before after doing a 15, 16-hour day, and spending your time trying to, you know, absorb many pages of paragraphs of dialogue of, you know, scientific stuff, medical stuff, and loopy stuff. And so it's hard for me to tell whether my difficulty with that was actually related to a problem, or just, you know what, nobody should be asked to do that. It's not something that, you know, it was quite normal that I wasn't able to hold on to that stuff. But long take was different, because I also do theater, and there's something about the process of rehearsal and the physicalization of doing a character over and over again that helps the body to remember better. But for the triangle takes, I don't believe there was that much dialogue in those takes. I think some of those takes is more about, you know, it was a lot of hallways, as I recall, and that's that kind of stuff is very different than memorizing paragraphs verbatim. But yeah, it all depends on how things are written. There are some projects I work on, and for some reason the way that the character talks is really easy to absorb and to repeat, and sometimes it's impossible. Like my brain will just not hang on to. There's something about the rhythm of the character's speech that makes it harder.
Does that not throw anyone under the bus, but does that speak more to the writer and, you know, just generally?
I mean, it does. I mean, that kind of rhythm is laid out by the writer, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, it may be a part of the character's personality, which is different from mine, which is good, but might just by the nature of it be more difficult to absorb, repeat.
Well, I thank you very much. You are my modern day Myrna Lord. And I know that you do not drink, but I'd be remiss if I did not offer you an early birthday present from Kentucky.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I haven't given it to you yet, so
Okay.
don't think about it.
All right. All right. Oh, holy cow, look at this. Blanton single barrel bourbon. Yeah. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. I recently got to ride a horse again on a film I did called Our Robot Overlords, which is coming out. When I say it fast, it's just like, what? Yeah, but my character gallops a horse on the beach, and that was fun. And through a castle. Got to, yeah. I do ride, by the way. It's made it a little bit easier. Hi.
I was wondering if you could talk a little bit about Sold or Falling Down or Mr. Morgan's Last Love.
I can. Well, let's start with the one that's probably going to come out the soonest, which is Mr. Morgan's Last Love, which I hope is going to see the light of day on American shores. I'm not 100% sure about the American distributors yet, but it's with Michael Caine and Justin Kirk and Clemence Posey. And it's a very sweet story about Michael Caine's character, who has been living in Paris with his wife, the love of his life, for many years. And she dies, and he can't take it anymore. First of all, he hates Paris. And there's some quite funny scenes where he's, talking to Parisians, and they're talking back to him, saying really rude things, but because he hasn't learned French, he doesn't know what they're saying. And he attempts suicide. He gets really, really low, missing, and doesn't know where he belongs in the world. And he survives, and his daughter, my character, and son, Justin Kirk, come to try and convince him to come back to America and to sell their property in France. And it's a sweet film. I haven't seen it yet, but Sandra Nettleback, who directed one of my favorite films, Mostly Martha, directed it, and it should be good. And then there's I'll Follow You Down, which is Richie Mehta, is a Canadian director, and are you looking at me through binoculars? Yes. I'm not that far away. Anyway, so it has Rufus Sewell and Victor Garber and Haley Osment. And it's a sweet family about a story about a family, husband and wife, myself and Rufus and our son. And he goes away on a work trip and he doesn't return. And it's about the impact that his choices on that day have on the rest of his family. And there might be a little sci-fi element to it as well, which is kind of unpredictable but fabulous. And I think y'all will like that. And then Sold is a film I did, I don't know when, in Calcutta. Last year, and it's a very difficult film about the child sex trade in India, and I haven't seen that yet either, but there's going to be a big movement around that to raise awareness globally about trafficking of children for sex, which is becoming, I hear, one of the most popular and lucrative trades in the world is children. It's moved beyond drugs, and it's horrifying. But so those three films.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking.
No problem.
Do you want a Jello shot?
I don't drink either.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, they're not. It's a solid, not a liquid.